Hey everyone, ready to turn those coding dreams into a real developer job? I mean, that's why we're all here, right?
That's the goal. And we've got some awesome guides to help us break it all down.
We're deep diving into excerpts from two sources today. First, how to get a developer job from W3 Schools.
And we'll also be looking at how to get your first software engineer job in 7 steps from the Quantic blog.
Because let's be honest, there's like a million how to get a tech job articles out there.
That's overwhelming.
Seriously, it's enough to make your head spin. But that's why we're here.
We're cutting through the noise, getting to the good stuff.
Think of this like your cheat sheet for landing that first dev gig.
By the end of this deep dive, you'll have a clear path forward.
And some actionable steps you can take right away. No more just reading and dreaming.
Time to make it happen.
All right, so first things first. What exactly is a developer or a software engineer?
Yeah, good question. Turns out even our sources have slightly different takes on this.
Which I think is interesting. Makes you think.
Definitely. So W3 Schools keeps it pretty simple.
Straight to the point.
They say a developer is someone who, and I quote, makes things happen on a computer.
I like that.
Website, app, game, you name it. It all starts with the developer bringing those ideas to life with code.
They even make this funny comment about it being a jobby. Like, it can be a hobby, a job, or a jobby.
Clearly they get it. It's a passion for a lot of devs.
Totally. But then the Quantic blog goes a little deeper. They focus more on the engineering side of things.
Right, emphasizing the whole process, designing, developing, building, and testing software.
It's more holistic.
Definitely. And this actually matters a lot when we start talking about the different types of developers out there.
Oh, yeah, good point.
You've got your front-end folks, back-end gurus, and then those mythical full-stack unicorns.
The unicorns, ha.
Doing it all.
Well, W3 Schools seems to think starting with front-end development is a good way to get your feet wet.
Makes sense.
But Quantic throws in some curveballs,
Yeah.
mentioning specializations like DevOps and security.
See, it's not just about websites and apps. There's so much more to explore. Cybersecurity, anyone.
Exactly. And the big takeaway here, I think, is that you don't need to have everything figured out right away.
Absolutely. Explore, try new things, see what clicks for you.
The tech world's a big place. There's a niche for everyone.
For sure.
So we've talked about the different types of developers out there, but now the real question is, how do you actually build the skills to get hired?
Right, because anyone can call themselves a developer, but you got to have the chops to back it up.
Exactly. And both of our sources really emphasize this idea of continuous learning, but they go beyond just learn to code, which can feel kind of vague.
Yeah, it's like, okay, learn to code, but how? Where?
Right. Well, W3 Schools is big on this, but they're also realistic. They know not everyone can afford those expensive boot camps.
Which can be like thousands of dollars.
Seriously. But they actually recommend a bunch of free resources, and these are awesome, like seriously good stuff.
Oh yeah, some of the best learning platforms out there are completely free.
We're talking FreeCodeCamp, LearnPython.org, and tons more. Actionable intel right here.
It's all about being resourceful. Take advantage of what's out there.
I love that. It's like they're giving you a treasure map, and the treasure is coding skills.
Haha, I like that. And speaking of maps, W3 Schools actually lays out a pretty clear learning path for mastering the basics.
Oh yeah, what's that?
They say, start with HTML, then move on to CSS, and finally conquer JavaScript.
It's like a step-by-step guide. Love it.
It's a solid roadmap, especially for beginners. Even if you end up specializing later, those core languages are crucial.
Totally agree. But let's not forget about the soft skills.
Oh, those are huge.
Quantic makes a big deal about this. Being a rockstar dev isn't just about the technical stuff.
Nope, got to be able to work with people too. Teamwork, problem solving, communication, all of that good stuff.
Because you can write the most brilliant code in the world, but if you can't explain it to anyone,
Or work effectively on a team.
then it doesn't matter.
Exactly. And that leads us to showcasing those skills, both technical and soft skills, to potential employers, of course.
Right. And both sources are all about the online resume and portfolio. Gotta have them.
Non-negotiable in today's world.
And W3 Schools goes above and beyond here. They don't just tell you to do it, they actually link to tutorials on how to create a good resume and portfolio.
So helpful.
They walk you through it, no excuses.
But it's more than just checking a box.
Definitely.
These are your tools to stand out in a crowded job market.
It's about making it easy for recruiters to find you and then blowing them away with proof of your skills.
Show, don't tell.
Exactly. Your portfolio is where your creativity shines, is where you demonstrate what you can do.
And if you're thinking, but I don't have any real-world experience yet, well, Quantic has an answer for that too.
Lay it on me.
personal projects, and freelance gigs.
Oh, yeah, that's huge.
You don't need to wait for permission to start coding awesome stuff.
Right. Build something you're passionate about, solve a problem. That's experience right there.
It shows initiative, and it gives you something concrete to show off in your portfolio.
Love it. Speaking of real-world tools, both sources mention GitHub. Now, full disclosure, I'm not a GitHub master, but I know it's a big deal for developers.
Oh, GitHub's essential. It's like the holy grail of version control and collaboration.
Okay, break that down for me. What does that even mean?
Imagine you're working on a project, multiple people are making changes, and suddenly something breaks.
Uh-oh. Nightmare.
Total nightmare. But with GitHub, you can basically rewind time, see exactly who changed what, when, and why, fix the issue without losing all your progress.
Whoa, so it's like an undo button for code.
Exactly, a lifesaver for teams. And it shows employers you know how to collaborate effectively.
Makes sense. So we've got our skills, we're building a portfolio using GitHub like pros, but landing a job's about more than just technical stuff, right?
Absolutely. There's a whole strategic side to it. And that's where Quantic's 7-step framework comes in. They've got these steps laid out, not as a rigid list, but more like a toolkit.
All right, so we've talked skills, portfolios, GitHub, all those essential tools. But there's one more interesting thing that the Quantic blog brings up.
Oh, yeah. What's that?
The MBA factor.
Interesting.
I know, right? An MBA for a developer. It's not the usual route.
Not really what you think of when you picture a techie.
But the article makes some good points about why it can actually be a secret weapon, especially for developers who want to, level up their careers.
I can see that. In the tech world, you got to stay ahead of the curve. Things move so fast.
It's crazy. Today's hot new language is tomorrow's old news.
Exactly. An MBA gives you a different set of skills, a broader perspective.
So you're not just coding anymore.
You're thinking about the business strategy, the market, how to lead a team, maybe even start your own company one day.
They specifically mentioned higher earning potential, which, let's be real, is always a plus.
For sure. But it's bigger than that. It's about understanding how your code fits into the big picture.
How to communicate your ideas.
Make decisions that actually help the business grow.
You become more than just a coder. You're a tech leader.
Exactly. And in tech, leadership skills are gold. They can help you move up faster, get those awesome jobs, maybe even become a CEO someday.
So while an MBA might not be for everyone, it's something to think about, especially if you're ambitious and want to make a real impact.
Definitely. And for those curious about online MBAs, the article actually mentions Quantic by name. They have a really high student satisfaction rate, apparently.
Now, we're not here to endorse any particular program,
Of course not.
but it's cool to see how online education is opening up new possibilities.
Absolutely. It's about finding the right path for you, whether that's a traditional MBA or something online.
Okay, future tech superstars, we've reached the end of our deep dive. I hope you're feeling pumped and ready to take on the world.
Remember, both of our sources talked about this never give up attitude. It's so important.
It's going to be a journey. You'll hit roadblocks, you'll face challenges, but that's part of it.
And the learning never really stops, even after you land that dream job. Tech is constantly evolving, so stay curious, keep learning, keep pushing yourself.
You've taken this deep dive with us. It's already a huge step. Shows you're serious about growing, about becoming the best developer you can be.
So go out there, build something amazing, and remember, the world needs your talents, your ideas.
Couldn't have said it better myself. We're cheering you on every step of the way.